Turn on.
Durshagagir, Kairaraj, on. And Tarankum, Kairaraj, on. Durshagagir, Kang, hard.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarkis Simonian. I'm the chair of the Armenian National Committee of America, the Burbank chapter. I would like to thank Burbank Humanities CPAN chapter and the Boys and Girls Scouts for their flag ceremony and the building the genocide memorial you see there actually, which is a replica of the Armenian Genocide Memorial in Yerevan, Armenia. I would also like to thank the Burbank Police Department and the officers who are here actually today, making sure that traffic is under control and everybody here is safe. So thank you for that. Dear elected officials, friends, sister organizations, supporters, and fellow Armenians, we gather today united in remembrance to mark the 111th anniversary of the Armenian Genocide, a systemic campaign of extermination that shattered lives, communities, and an ancient civilization. Over 1.5 million Armenians were brutally murdered, countless others displaced, their culture and heritage scarred. Today, we honor their memory, their resilience, and their enduring spirit. In Artsakh, we witnessed a chilling echo of that past, a forced mass exodus of Armenians fleeing violence and the specter of displacement. This wasn't merely a displacement, it's a calculated attempt to erase the Armenian presence from its historic homeland. It was an ethnic cleansing. Today, Armenians in the Middle East face similar challenges, whether directly or indirectly, like in Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and Iran. This commemoration is not just about the past, it's a call to action. We must remain vigilant against prejudice and discrimination in all forms. We must stand up to human rights and speak truth to power. Let our voices rise in unison. Remember the victims of the genocide, the victim of the ethnic cleansing in Artsakh, and the struggles of the Armenian population in the Middle East. We demand accountability for the denial of the genocide and the ethnic cleansing in Artsakh. We ask our US government to stop sending money and arming genocidal Azerbaijan and Turkish governments, enforce Section 901 of the Freedom Support Act, send aid to displaced Armenians population of Artsakh, and guarantee their safe return to the homeland in Artsakh, and also free the Armenian hostages. couple of announcements I have to make. I would like to announce that Burbank City Hall and Burbank Water of Power building will be lighted with the Armenian flags from April 24th and the 26th, so we can see here. And I was just got the confirmation that Providence St. Joseph Hospital will also be lighting the building with the Armenian flag colors. I think thanks to Terry, which is here. And you can also see the Armenian Genocide banner at the intersection of West Magnolia Boulevard and Hollywood Way, which is going to be there from April 20th until May 3rd. Another important announcement is that we are working closely with the city regarding having an Armenian Genocide Memorial in Burbank, which we finally came up with a location. It's going to be in Johnny Carson Park. So, and it's going to be coming up this Tuesday for the city council for a vote on that, and we'll keep you updated on that. So, as many of you know, that the process of this, we're going to be inviting elected officials to say a few words, and then we're going to be doing the laying of flowers on the memorial afterwards. So, I would like to invite, first of all, Congresswoman Laura Friedman, who has been a great champion for Armenian issues in Congress in Washington, D.C., and a great friend for the Armenian community. So please.
Good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to be here with you this morning. I first want to thank the ANCA Burbank and to Chairman Sarkis Simonian for bringing us again together to commemorate this very solemn occasion. I'm honored to be standing here with members from the Burbank City Council and the Burbank Unified School District leadership, the Minutemen Scouts, and every member of the Armenian American community who are here today with us. I'm Laura Friedman, and I'm proud to represent California's 30th Congressional District, home to the largest Armenian American community outside of Armenia. We all know why we're here today. We know about the 1.5 million Armenians who were slaughtered over a century ago. But it's also important for us to recognize that is it on?
Yeah.
A lot of mic backups here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I think it's important that our community always remembers that even though the genocide happened 111 years ago, it is still that the trauma that it caused, the sense of loss, the sense of displacement stays with the Armenian community today. Now, I was proud that when I was in the California legislature, I was part of helping to finance the Armenian American Museum that's now under construction in Glendale. And in fact, going back to about 2011, I was part of the Glendale City Council that voted to give that land to the Armenian American Museum. The importance of that institution and of holding this particular event every year is so that as we are seeing growing threats to Armenia itself from its neighbors, that people remember what's at stake and how threatened the Armenian community has been for over 100 years. Those events are absolutely linked, and we have to remember that these patterns can occur again if they are not recognized and acknowledged. This commemoration is not just about remembering, it is also a warning to all of the world of what can happen if we are not actively pushing back against hatred, discrimination, and genocide. In 2023, there was a year-long blockade and over 120,000 Armenians forced out of Artsakh, their ancestral homeland. In about 2017, I had the privilege of visiting Artsakh. That is a place where the Armenian culture, where Armenian history runs through every church, every field, every building, every rock. It is throughout that land. The idea that there would be a claim from Azerbaijan that is not the part of the Armenian homeland is absolutely ridiculous. But now to watch what is happening in Artsakh as that culture and that history is being systematically erased in a kind of cultural genocide, it is heartbreaking, and the United States should be doing a lot more to prevent this cultural genocide. I have been clear and working with my colleagues in Congress as part of the Armenian caucus that we must demand that the Armenian POWs are returned and released, returned to their families. We must demand that that cultural erasure stops and that historic sites are protected. We should not be giving $1 of aid, military or humanitarian, to Azerbaijan, nor should we be participating in events that they are holding. We must stand for Armenia's sovereignty, but also for Armenia's security, as they are still under threat from their neighbors. And if the United States does not act and make it clear to Turkey and to Azerbaijan that we will not tolerate any incursions or threats against Armenia, my fear is that this will continue to happen. So you have my commitment that I will continue to be working with the caucus, the Armenian caucus in Congress, and with all of you to elevate these issues from the steps of Burbank City Hall to the White House. We have got to remain diligent. And it has been the activism and the resilience of the Armenian American community that has kept this memory alive, and that has also led to the United States for the first time under Joe Biden officially recognizing the Armenian genocide. So I'm proud to be with you here today. I will always be standing with you. Thank you so much for always including me.
Thank you, Congresswoman, for everything you do for the Armenian community, and always pleasure to have you here. So I want to invite now Burbank Council Member Constantine Anthony, who is no stranger. His family is Greek, so as you can see the flag, so he understands what we go through.
A whole civilization will die, never to be brought back again. A whole civilization will die, never to be brought back again. The genocide was 111 years ago, before the word genocide even existed. But that quote was 11 days ago by our president. We're here in the United States because this is the country that takes in everyone. This is the nation of immigrants that stands up for immigrants around the world. We have the largest Armenian diaspora right here in these neighborhoods, Burbank, Glendale, North Hollywood, Pasadena. And what we do here by electing champions to Congress, by fighting back against harmful administrations, what we do as Americans, Armenian Americans, Greek Americans, everything that we do here in this country is to support our families and the families of other immigrants, not just in this country, but around the world, who see us as a guiding light, a shining light, a beacon on the hill. I'm so very disappointed in what is happening right now, not just in our White House, but what this administration is doing to families around the world, places that are simply yearning to be free, who are facing their own modern day genocides. I'm so proud of the work that ANCA does. I'm so proud of the work that each and every one of you do every day, supporting people, helping people, not just in legal and legislative and state and congressional actions, but the community service that we provide, that we bond together and help with. Last week I attended a wonderful event about generational trauma and how we shouldn't let the pains and sufferings of our past be passed down to our children and our grandchildren. It was a wonderful showing of solidarity. And it was so exemplary of the pain that we still suffer today. We must continue to do the work, but rely on the people you see here, the people to your left and to your right. They are here to help you, to be a shoulder to lean on when you can't make it, to carry the torch when you are tired, and then when you're ready, for you to get back up and move forward with them. I'm proud of the work that we do here today and every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council Member. And I also want to invite Council Member Nika Perez, who is El Salvadorian origin, so they are also familiar with, sadly, with genocides.
Thank you, Sarkis, and good morning, everyone. I could sit here and talk about the history, the genocide, the cruelty that is still happening today. But I was thinking this morning as I was getting ready, because we have this event every single year. What does this mean? Especially for those of us outside of the Armenian community. Like my colleague, and like Sarkis mentioned, I come from Central America. My family is Salvadorian and Guatemalan. My great-grandparents were killed in the Guatemalan genocide when indigenous land was taken, so this is very near and dear to my heart. But I think, what does that mean for us today? Because we still see this happening. Because we're still living it. I'm sure many of us have family back in the home that we're worried about. Folks who they're gonna make it another day, if their homes will be taken. We worry about our communities and our towns, and will they be the same when we come back? Because we want to go back to see our loved ones and our roots. And I think this moment is critical to talk about today, and why commemorations like this are important. They're important for two main reasons. The first one, obviously, we need to come together as community, as loved ones, as each other's support system, to lay a flower at the memorial, and a flower that represents every man, woman, child, every family that we've lost. But also to come together and think about the future. Think about the things that Congresswoman Friedman mentioned, that Sarkis mentioned, that my colleague on the council mentioned. We're looking ahead. We need to think about the war that is happening right now. How can we advocate against the sending of armaments? How can we advocate against further killing? And what can we do, speaking for myself, at the local level, to make sure that our community here knows that we are openly and vehemently against that? And then looking here at home, we need to support our Armenian community. We need to make sure that when hate crimes happen, because they happen, that we are 100% speaking against them, standing with the Armenian community. And I am committed to continuing to do that every single day I sit on that dais. Because I know that this community is Burbank. Burbank would not be what it is without our Armenian community. And I know that for all of you, it has meant so much to create home here. And I share your feelings of creating home here and thinking about the home you left, about the community you left, the family you left. I know that feeling. So I am committed alongside my colleagues to commemorating that, to celebrating that, to cherishing that, and to protecting that every single day. Thank you for being here. I will see you here next year and every year that we have to commemorate the genocide.
Thank you, Council Member. And I want to invite our Burbank Unified School Member Board Member Armand Al-Khalian.
Thank you. So I think our esteemed elected officials did talk about the history a little. I'm not going to repeat the history and the lessons learned. I'm going to talk about what is happening right now. In our own community, our own backyard, right in the valley. when an administrator from this president's office, Dr. Oz, who's a personal friend of the dictator and war criminal president of Turkey, Erdogan, shows up unannounced in front of a bakery owned by an Armenian woman and denounces our community. The same community that built this area, the same community who has responsible for building Glendale, the Valley, immigrants. This is an attack on Armenians for a simple reason. Because he's also Turkish and a friend of the president, Erdogan, who has blood on his hand as we speak. I think people are not talking about this as much as they should. But we should. Why? Because to me that's another systematic continuation of the genocide. So please everyone, we are here today, but as we speak, right here, not even 10 minutes from the area, he shows up. This is an administrator for Medi-Cal and Medicaid, appointed by the president, and targets our community. And the consequences are dire. So, today I want to remind everyone, Armenians, non-Armenians, that the genocide is taking a different form now, unfortunately. And it's happening right here. We keep talking about home to the largest Armenian community. It's happening right here in the largest Armenian community. So I want everyone to make sure you do call your elected officials, complain about this. I do want to thank Governor Newsom, who's been standing up against what's happening, talking about Dr. Oz, and our own Senator, Manjabar, who actually did a press conference. Well, showed up to the event and did a little press talking about what's happening, because that business is in her district. This is a woman, just like many of us, who came here with nothing, has built a business, and he just shows up unannounced. And I'm glad that she's suing him right now. One last thing. I'm very proud of what's happening in our district right now when it comes to the education of the Armenian genocide. We are now starting to, during the recognition of the Armenian Genocide Commemoration month and week, we also are offering books now. So our librarian showed up and offered books that you should be reading in different grades. What we need, and I want to ask everyone to also help with your local schools, is we also need more books in Armenian. Why is that important? Because as a proud parent of Mohamed Sipan Scout, it is important to remind everyone that also what is happening, unfortunately, is also our culture is slowly being wiped out also, because we are not talking about the importance of our language. We don't call it mother language just because we like to. Maydeni lezu is Maydeni lezu. So please everyone, when you go home today, you have a book you want to donate to the library, city or school district, please do so. We need those. And in closing, I want to just send a message from my colleagues and the school district. Hate has no home in this district. Hate has no home in this district. Thank you. I'm going to say a few words in Armenian as well. Սիրելի հայ ժողովուրդ, ես դոկտոր Արման Դախանյանն եմ, Burbank-ի դպրոցների ներկայացուցիչն եմ։ Ինչպես որ խոսում էի, մենք խոսում ենք այսօր մեր ցեղասպանության մասին, բայց այսօր այդ ցեղասպանությունը շարունակվում է մեր տոնում, Valley։ Dr. Ozը, որ ինչպես գիտեք, President-ի appointee-ն է, Medicare եւ Medi-Cal-ի համար, մեկ ամիս առաջ եկավ եւ գնաց իրեն I guess Dr. Oz is listening. Մեկ ամիս առաջ եկավ գնաց Valley եւ կանգնեց մի հատ բիզնեսի առաջ, մի հատ հայկական խանութ եւ այդ պատճառով հիմա բոլորը հայկական բիզնեսները որ ունեն նրանց համար դժվարանում են, especially եթե Medicare field-ի մեջ եք, Ես ուզում եմ բոլորին հիշեցնեմ, որ մենք ցեղասպանության մասին ենք խոսում, բայց հիմա այդ ցեղասպանությունը շարունակվում է։ Value-ում 10 րոպե ստեղից այդ բիզնեսը։ Եվ մենք եկել ենք այս երկիրը մեր ջանքերով այս բիզնեսները ստեղծենք։ Նայեք ինչ ենք արել Գլենդելում, նայեք ինչ ենք արել Burbank-ում։ Մեր բիզնեսները, մեր գաղույթը, մեր մշակույթը։ Խնդրում եմ հայ ժողովուրդ, այս շատ վտանգավոր բան է, որովհետև այս տարբեր ձև է ցեղասպանության, ինչ որ կատարվում է։ Ես ուզում եմ շնորհակալություն հայտնեմ մեր նահանգապետ Գաբին Նուսենին, որպեսզի այս հարցի մասին խոսում է, եւ մեր սենատոր Մանջաբարը, որ գնաց, որտեղ ինքը իր ներկայացուցիչն է այդ շրջանի, եւ գնաց եւ այդ բիզնեսի առաջ եւ խոսած այդ հարցի մասին։ Valley շուտով կելի Glendale եւ այս պայքարը, որ մենք պիտի շարունակենք մեր բիզնեսների համար, բայց մի ժամանակ մեր հայրենասապների համար, որպեսզի ծնող, որ մեր տղեն Սիփանի անդամ է, սկաուտ, ես բոլոր հայերին ուզում եմ հիշեցնեմ, որ այս տարի մենք Burbank-ի դպրոցներում մեջտեղ ենք վերել տարբեր գիրքերը, որ պիտի մենք ուզում ենք բոլորը կարդան հայկական պատմության մասին, բայց ես ուզում եմ բոլորն որ սկսեն նվիրել հայկական գիրքեր մեր լայբրերիներին, որովհետև մենք պետք ունենք։ Ես շատ հպարտ եմ, որ մենք ունենք մեր կոնգրեսի անդամ Laura Friedman-ը եւ Constantine Anthony-ն, մեր ներկայացուցիչ եւ Nikki Perez-ը։ Ես իզի ասում եմ, Burbank-ում մեր հայ գաղութը պիտի շարունակի, ինչ որ կատարվում է մեր հարցերի մասին, որովհետև ցեղասպանությունը հիմա եկել է մեր Արևան Valley-ում եւ մենք չի պիտի իրավունք տանք այս դոկտոր Ազի նման մարդիկ գան եւ մեր դիմաց կանգնեն։ Շատ շնորհակալ եմ հայ ժողովուրդ։
Thank you, Armand. And about the Armenian community, just to give you some information in Burbank, the Armenian population in Burbank is anywhere between 19 to 20%, which is probably the second highest after Glendale. Senator Carla mentioned unfortunately she wasn't able to attend today, but she sent the flowers, so thank you very much. And also Assemblymember Nick Schultz wasn't able to come today, but the representative Alex Avanesian is going to say a couple of words on his behalf.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alex Avanesian, and I'm with the office of Assemblymember Nick Schultz. Unfortunately, Assemblymember Schultz was not able to make it to today's commemoration, but I do have a few brief comments on his behalf. Representing one of the largest Armenian American communities in the nation, I understand how deeply this history lives within families and across generations. This is not just a moment of remembrance, but a reaffirmation of our shared commitment to truth and justice. We gather to honor the 1.5 million Armenians who were lost during the Armenian Genocide and to recognize the strength and resilience of those who survived and rebuilt. In our community, this history is not distant. It is carried forward through stories, traditions, and the enduring spirit of the Armenian people. We must continue to speak the truth, confront denial wherever it exists, and ensure that future generations understand the consequences of silence and indifference. As we reflect, I stand with the Armenian community in remembrance, in recognition, and in a shared commitment to justice, dignity, and ensuring that such atrocities are never repeated. Thank you for continuing to keep this history alive and for bringing the community together in remembrance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alex. And we also have some regards from our mayor and the vice mayor. Unfortunately, they are out of town, but they send their regards. And our school board members are also Emily Weisberg and the rest. Unfortunately, they have family obligations. They couldn't make it. So at this stage, what we're going to do, we're going to proceed with laying the flowers on the memorial. So I'm going to invite the elected officials to go first and the public afterwards.